video classes for the student of Institute of English of Latif University, Khokhar. These video lectures cover the whole scope of English literature, and you will find videos for the subjects of drama, fiction, novel in 18th and 19th century, and American literature as well. For watching more videos on literature and awareness sessions, keep on watching my video channel and subscribe my channel. I thank you all and I love you all. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is video class for the students of BS4 American Literature, and today we will start the novel Sound and Fury written by William Faulkner. Today's topic is to discuss about William Faulkner, his biography and his contribution in American literature. Ladies and gentlemen, William Faulkner, one of the highly celebrated and renowned American novelist, was born in New Albany in the state of Mississippi on 25th September 1897. William Faulkner is among those great American writers who had established their repute as a great literary giant and were awarded with Nobel Prize in Literature. William Faulkner was also awarded Nobel Prize in Literature in 1950, and his novels are famous for their thrill, for their complex plots, and for discussing the American ways of life in detail. William Faulkner had a very disturbed parenthood. His father and his mother had eloped together, and their marriage was not consummated by both of the families. So the birth of Faulkner as the eldest child was a problem for the parents, and William was not liked by his father throughout his life. So William Faulkner, from the very beginning of his early childhood, had started to suffer domestic problems and even a sort of domestic violence. But one thing that was positive for this young guy was availability of classical books and availability of books of literature in home, which were read by his mother. In his early ages, William Faulkner, in the company of his mother, found the books about Shakespeare, Dickens, Mark Twain, Joseph Conrad, and other writers, whereas his father was also fond of reading Western romances. So a huge collection of Western romances were available to William Faulkner, and Faulkner, from the very early stage of life, consummated most of his time in reading books. Now these readings helped Faulkner to emerge out to be a successful writer. And then throughout his life, after completing his studies, Faulkner throughout his life developed penchant for writing, and he continuously wrote, and in writing he found solace. As mentioned earlier, a sense of alienation prevailed to him from his parents' side. Neither his father liked him, nor he had any love and affection for his father. So the disturbed family relationship and the ways family ignore the children, the way families ignore the responsibilities towards growing up children, remained one of the great obsession of William Faulkner. That theme was later translated into his novels, and his novel that we would be studying, The Sound and the Fury, is also replete with this theme. His passion for writing continued. He wrote prose as well as poems. His poems are also living and attractive. Then he started getting published his novels. His first love in life was to join army, but unfortunately he was rejected because of his fragile health. He wanted to become a pilot, but he was not allowed to join US Air Force because of his weak physique. He was physically very weak, so he concentrated upon writing, and his first novel appeared in 1926 that was entitled as Soldier's Pay. This followed another novel that was known as Mosquitoes that was published in 1927. Sartorius appeared in 1929, and then his fourth novel, and the novel that we would be studying in this semester, The Sound and the Fury, appeared in 1929. So William Faulkner continued to write and continued to inspire millions of Americans through his writings. When he was awarded Nobel Prize in Literature in 1950, he made a wonderful speech there, and that is a remarkable speech. He says that I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail. He is immortal not because he alone among creatures has an inexhaustible voice, but because he has soul, a spirit capable of compassion and sacrifice and endurance. So Faulkner, as a writer, had strong faith in human passion and human endurance, and he strongly believed that man will continue to endure all the hardships of life because man is immortal for having soul and strong spirit. William Faulkner had his own peculiarities. When American President John F. Kennedy invited him to the White House to be his guest, he beautifully declined it on the excuse of his being sick, on the excuse of his being very weak. He continued to suffer in his domestic life. He had great achievements in the field of literature, but his personal life was the result of setbacks, was the result of shocks after shocks, and was the life of great disturbance. So he was the victim of drinking. He used to drink a lot, and then he was fond of horse riding, from which he fell down number of times and got himself injured. And then finally on 6 July 1962, this great artist of United States of America died out of massive heart attack, and he died in a sanatorium where he was passing the last days of his life. But the legacy of William Faulkner in terms of his novels always reminds us of a great literary genius, and we will see that how this American writer contributed into the general good of American literature, and we will see that how he would be talking about American ways of life. Thank you very much for watching this video. This was short introduction of William Faulkner.